Sweet. All right, Josh. So, Josh, you've been with Canine for 3 months now. How much have you made in the past 3 months?
In the last 3 months, we have brought in about 112,000.
Ooh, damn, broke that six-figure mark in
Three
in
months.
in 3 months. Wow.
Yeah,
Okay, okay, nice. I didn't even know that.
yeah, give or take, might be off a couple thousand, but yeah, give or take. Yeah, it's wild. Uh, yeah, definitely wild in our reality. Yeah, so can't complain. Definitely can't complain.
Nice, nice. And what were you what were you making before?
Yearly or monthly?
Like monthly average.
Average probably 17 to 20, give or take.
17 to 20. Okay, okay, nice, nice. And what was your out of like those 3 months, like what was your biggest month?
Biggest month that we did in sales was 64K with 53 collected.
Wow. That's
Wild.
yeah, that's amazing. I mean, first month you did 28 and then
Yep.
58,000 collected. That's
No, it was 53 collected, but we did over 60K in sales.
nice.
So yeah. So we're still collecting. So we got people on payment plans. So, being this time of year that we're in right now, uh, unfortunately, I mean, it could be worse, right? But this time of year, we're seeing a lot more payment plans right now. So
Mm,
but we gotta do what we gotta do to make them sales. So
it's
so it works out.
exactly.
It works out. Could definitely be worse. It could be zeros. So we'll
No,
take it.
true, true. But that's awesome. I mean, congratulations on breaking that six figures in just 3 months. Like that right there is it's pretty wild. But very, very good. Do you have like I always like to provide, values for other dog trainers. I mean, sometimes they start very, very low. Everyone starts like differently. But is there like any tips that you can give anybody just kind of starting the program? Um, yeah, let's start with that. People who starting the program, like any tips in order to get to like that next level?
Keep investing in yourself. Uh, you know, Trust the process. These guys, they know what they're doing in terms of getting the ads out there, right? So they understand that process for them the way we understand how to read the dogs, how to work the dogs, and get that communication through to the owners themselves. So listen to what they tell you to do, and provide the feedback that they ask you for when it comes to what those things, and then keep investing, hire a mentor, and then attend the sales training. So the sales training aspect of the program is probably the most important aspect of the entire program that they offer, just because there's so much more value in it that you're going to gain just because of the interactions between the knowledge that they have that they're going to pass to you that you may not have ever thought about. These guys, they've literally learned from the best in the business in terms of sales, and they're passing that along to you at such an incredible value. Like, it's insane. So definitely attend the masterminds that they put on. It's That's probably going to be the number one thing that makes you take that next step in terms of the success aspects. um, and ask questions. Ask away, and then use everybody else in the community. Like, we're all dog trainers. Some of us may be in the same areas, but at the end of the day, there's enough dogs to go around for everybody. Like, we're one big family. So use each other, ask questions, get ideas from each other. Reach out if you're struggling with something. Like, you never know, somebody's going to have that gold nugget that you might have never thought of, and you can implement it, and that gold nugget from them can turn into $1 million for you. So just use the whole community. The networking aspect is majorly important.
Yeah, yeah. No, I appreciate you sharing that. And that's one of the things that kind of, I liked about like the last mastermind, sales mastermind that we had, that you were there, just telling people, hey, like, we're all in the same space. Like, we're all one family. Let's just use each other just because, I thought it was really, really cool of you to just say that, just because, sometimes people make a lot of money, they don't want to share their knowledge just because, like they feel like they're just going to be like a competitor or anything like that. But you, on the other hand,
Hmm.
like, that just use this. And I completely agree with you, like I like to, I like to invest in myself too. And anytime I'm in those, situations like where I'm like, like in masterminds and everything, like I'm really of a like an introvert. So like I get nervous asking any kind of sort of questions, but I know that, one question or one answer to that question could really, make me a ton of money, So it's super important to ask questions.
Yeah, no, it absolutely is. It definitely is. And believe it or not, like you may ask that question that might help that other person, or that other person might make a statement or make a comment about something that might help you. Like so I think someone had asked a question. I think it was like in regards to like tracking stuff on like the CRM and how would you go about doing it? And I
Mm,
and there was a couple of us and that was kind of responded to it, and I was like, believe it or not, go hire a virtual assistant.
yeah.
Like pay them $4 to $8 an hour and have them just task them with that. It's completely worth that $4 to $8 an hour. And me, like before I knew about that personally, I would have never in a million years thought about it. Like an assistant to me, that's 20 to $30 an hour for somebody. I can't afford
Yeah.
that, So it's something I personally would have never thought of until I hired a mentor. And that mentor actually told me about it. And that was actually my first hire. Like, and I wasn't making any kind of money. I was only making like $10,000 a month. And he was like,
Yeah.
hire a VA, like legitly hire a VA, task them with the little things that's gonna save you time, whether it's your calendar, like whatever it may be. And that was what I did. She's been on board with me for almost 2 years at this point. So
Nice. Nice. Yeah.
so little gems like that make the biggest difference, and it streamlines. It streamlines everything, makes things smoother.
Yeah. And even
Especially as you're trying to grow. Like if you're trying to grow, trying to expand, and don't take don't take a failure as a failure. Like it's a learning experience. Like you're gonna hit home runs, you're gonna strike out. Just roll with the punches, stay in contact with these guys. Like let them know how you're doing, check in with them. Like you're having a great month. Brag, brag about it. Like put it out there, put that goodwill out there, because it's gonna make all the difference in the world. You put it out there, it's gonna keep coming. You're
exactly.
struggling, let them know you're struggling. Like you're not on your own, even though like it's your individual business. These guys, I promise you, these guys feel like they're part of your business. They're your team. They're just behind closed doors on the back end where you don't see them, but they're part of your team. So if you're struggling, like tell them you're struggling. They're gonna throw ideas at you. They're gonna be like, all right, cool, let's game plan. Let's switch this around, see how this goes. They're there to help. They're definitely there to help you, and they're gonna help you grow.
No, yeah, yeah, no, I appreciate that. No, yeah, and you're absolutely right. I mean, like for me, it's cool just because, I love, working here with like Canine Conversion. I love my company. And a lot of it is because, I feel like I've been able to build, great relationship. Like, for example, for yourself, there's other, clients that, like I'm in, constant communication, just checking in, making sure that they're good, just following up. So, no, yeah, I feel like community is important. That's one of the things where I'm trying to really, really push, toward the end of the year. And that's like one of my goals is trying to really utilize the school community, where, like everyone's just interacting with like each other, because that's besides the masterminds, outside of those mastermind, that's where, they can ask questions, they can brag about wins. That's one thing I definitely do want to start pushing because it is motivation, like, hey, listen, like, like just because month one didn't go as expected doesn't mean that month two is going to be the same, like
Mhm.
there's
Absolutely.
definitely a learning curve. There are a lot of steps, especially if you've never run any ads before, like you, for example, you came from running ads on Google, and you have that like social media advertising, like experience where other people who only relied on word of mouth, you never ran any ads, and this is the first time running ads, like you can't let like month one really affect month two and month three moving forward, just because, it's different and it is a learning curve. Like, yes, we'll do all the ads for you, but sales is a huge, huge part of it.
It's the biggest. Sales is literally the key to everything in our
Mhm.
reality. It's the most important thing. Like people think it's the actual training program itself and working the dogs and working with the owners. Without sales, you're not going to have the dogs to work. So sales has to be number one to start off with, because without the sales, there's not going to be any dogs to work, right? So master sales, and the only way to master sales is to practice and honestly go through a sales coach, like go through a sales program. They offer it themselves or they work with you, but the mastermind once a week, once every other week, it's not going to be enough. You're going to want to like find a sale course that you're interested in and do it. Like go for it. For me, it's a game changer. That's
Mhm.
honestly how I met these guys. Was I joined probably the best sales coach in the world. I joined his sales program last year. Did his sales program, and it turned into bigger opportunity, and here I am. And I did run ads before with another company, and had pretty good success. It was just me. It wasn't doing anything crazy. Some months were pretty good. Some months were okay. Um, but I felt like I wasn't getting enough leads personally. And then we switched to Facebook, and I went from getting, I was doing like 40 leads a month, give or take, through Google. And then I switched to Facebook, and it blew up our first month. I think we had over 300 leads. It was insane. It was absolutely insane. I literally couldn't keep up. And I was like, what do I do? Like, I'm not able to contact 99% of the individuals that are, filling out my information and reaching out for me to like call them. I can't contact them because I don't have the time. And then we put a system in place, uh, got a little team put together, and it's running. It's running. We have our hiccups here and there because we're still new to it as well, but we're smoothing things out as we go along, and we're putting steps and SOPs in place to fix things, and we're getting better, and the sales are showing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's all a process. So yeah, it's definitely showing, and it's fun. Honestly, it becomes a pretty cool little game. Like I think like one of our first meetings, I think where I was talking about, yeah, like I was making like X amount a month, and then I think the next meeting we had, you were laughing at me because you were like, "How you doing?" And I was like, "I'm doing okay." And I think I had a pretty decent like week. I was like, "Yeah, I'm doing okay. I'm trying to get like a sale a day." And you started laughing at me about it. It was hilarious. You went from like only doing like this amount a month, and now you're trying to you're not happy unless you're getting a sale a day at least. It was crazy. So it's all you just make it a game and keep it fun and keep it interesting and just keep improving. Don't settle. Like
Uh,
you got to keep moving forward. Like don't get stagnant.
mhm.
And that's the thing. So getting stagnant or just getting complacent, it'll be the death of the company. You got to keep striving for more. Even if you're crushing it, you can be doing $4 million a year. You can be doing more, whatever it
Mm.
may be. There's always something else that you can do. Just got to think about it.
Yeah.
So yeah, but can't complain. So far, love it. Yeah, leads are there. Leads are definitely there. For anyone coming in right now, leads are slower, like they're coming in, but people, it's holiday time right now, so this time of year it's always typically a little bit slow. But just keep pushing, figure things out, like throw little combination sales or whatever you got to do to get that lead in or get that sale done. Uh, and all you got to do, it takes one. You might not get one. You might not get a sale for a week. It might be 2 weeks. All you got to do, keep pushing. You'll get that one sale, and it'll be wildfire.
It's literally all like that the snowball effect. Just because I did it, I had a client who was like in week 3, week 4, and he's like, "Hey man, I'm calling the leads, like I'm doing everything," and then he got that first one, and then like within like a month he got like 5, 6, you
Yeah,
know, and that's all it is. It's just that snowball effect.
I
And
think like last month for us over here, like last month was a little down month. I think we ended up at 26K for the month. We
uh-huh.
started off pretty good for the month, and that was coming off our best month ever. We did 64 in sales with over 50 collected. So October started off pretty good, and then it like died after the first like probably week. It literally just died on us, and we couldn't get a sale for nothing. And it was a struggle, and it was like I think I even messaged you, like you checked in on me, like how's it go? And I haven't heard from you. And I was like, man, honestly, it started off fire, but we're struggling right now. Like nothing's popping off. Like we're getting the leads in. We're booking the evals. Evals are going great. It's just the financial thing for most people right now. Uh, and then last week of the month, I think we closed like 18K in cash collected in the last month. So in the last like 5 days, I believe. So it literally saved my month. Like it was crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it was definitely crazy. Like, and to think like, 4.5 months ago, a $26,000 month, I would have been like, oh my God, that's freaking exciting, dude. Like I crushed it. It would have been my best month ever. And now I'm like, 20, only 26. Like, what are you guys doing? Like, like what am I paying you for? You know?
But that's crazy how you just, move up in life where to the point where you're like, like 26,000, like, to someone just starting up, that's wild, but it's gonna come
Yeah.
to a point as long as they stick with it, it's
It was me,
gonna be
bro.
like,
4.5 months ago, that was me. Like
mm-hmm,
never, honestly, I was like, goal for me was like to average like 20 to 25. Like 25 would have been amazing. And
mm-hmm.
now, now that I got that taste of those bigger numbers, I'm like, yo, we can't do lower than this. We got to keep it pushing. Like, let's go.
Yeah, yeah.
But with that being said, as well, you got to be willing to spend the money to make the money. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like I know it's scary at first. You're putting a lot of faith into them. Some of us, like for me, literally, it was like the last buck I had in all reality, but it paid off, and it paid off big for me. So you just got to be willing to do it. And as you do better in the business, you're going to have more costs as well because you're going to start implementing a team, and
Mm-hmm.
you're not going to be able to do it all. The team's going to be important, but when you build a team, make sure that the people you bring on with the team match you and your personality and fit with your morals and your ethics. Doesn't matter, they could be the greatest trainer in the world, if they don't blend with you, it's not going to work.
Yeah. No, 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 that totally makes sense. And then you did, bring a very, valid point about like, the importance of always self-improvement, always like, working on yourself and working like doing like the sales aspect of it too. And what you just said too, like in alignment, like build a team who's aligned with your like your ethics and vibes with you. I think like vibing and having that connection plays a huge role, just because if something feels off in the very beginning, like most likely it's gonna feel off, and I'd experienced that before, but Josh, quick question. I as you know, like everyone goes to 5.1, 5.2. It's sales training from Mike Barron, one of the biggest sales people like out there, huge internet marketer. So, how important is, 5.1 and 5.2 to you?
It's everything. Like it's blueprint. Like, it's literally the blueprint. You can skip everything else in our reality, and if that's all you concentrated on, you're golden. Like, of course, don't like pay attention to everything else, but 5.1, 5.2 is literally the blueprint for everything. Like, watch it every day, study it every day, whether it's 5 minutes while you're drinking a cup of coffee, whether it's you're on the road, just put it on, listen to it through Bluetooth. But like, make sure you just follow the flow and just pay attention to what it says, because you're not going to comprehend everything immediately, especially as you're first going through all of it. Like you think you do, but you don't. So the more you study it, the more you go through it, the more it gets ingrained in you. It's just going to flow. So you're not going to have to think about it. It's going to be natural. And the more natural the conversations come out, it's child's play.
Yeah, 100%. No, 100%. And that's what I tell everyone too. Like I tell everyone like this right here, the sales training, like I wanted to be something complete like different than your regular just advertising agency. Because a lot of them, not most, but a lot of, not all, but most of them, they just gives you the leads, and that's it. They don't really, sometimes they don't give you a funnel, it's just, a lead forms, or, there's just so many different, ways to get leads. But I wanted to be completely different. And this is why, we have the sales training from like an 8-figure, internet entrepreneur who focuses on high ticket sales and closing, and that's what I tell everyone, coming into this program. I'm like, hey, like, this 5.1 and 5.2, like this right here can really like make or break, this program right now. Like you have to be obsessed with it. listen to it whenever you get a chance, listen to it once, once you already start making calls, like re-listen to it again, because now you're gonna have a different perspective, just because you have a different experience of talking to people. And yeah, I mean, I had someone who didn't really go through it and was telling me, hey, listen, like, like this is not working out. And I'm like, how's the sales training? They didn't even start. But like we came out with the game plan. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna keep you accountable. At this day, you're gonna finish this and this. We made a game plan. And then, later on, a few weeks later, she's like, hey man, I've been closing deals. Like, like, I'm so glad that you helped me, push me through this to sales training, just because like I see the value in it now, and now I've been able to close some sales. So no, I completely agree with you that sales training is incredibly important.
No, it is. And you're going to get a lot more no's than you're going to get yes. Just keep it pushing. Right.
Hmm.
And just because they say no to start off with doesn't mean it's a no. It just
Yep.
means they're not ready. Right. So
Mhm.
don't count them out. Right. Just push them off into a different part of your funnel and come back to them. Put it into a different pipeline and just reach back out. It could be a week later, it could be 7 months later, it could be a year later. Um, you never know. You never know. Like I literally had thought I closed someone a few months ago, and they ghosted. Literally, I was just waiting on the payment to get that credit card from them, and they ghosted on me. Uh, and then just closed them the other day. It was like
Mhm.
4 months later. Closed them, paid in full. I picked the dog up in a week. So
Yeah.
they're there. They're definitely there. And I got a few stories of stuff like that where person was like, nope, not doing it, you're too expensive, or whatever the case may be, and I signed them up a year later,
I
after
mean,
they already went to another trainer, or they went to two other trainers, or whatever the
yeah.
case may be. So just because they initially say no doesn't mean it's not going to be a close. Still give them value. Still show them that you have something to offer them, and they'll be there. Or even if they don't use you, if you give them value, they're gonna send their friends.
Hmm. Yeah. No, I agree with you 1,000%. And that has happened to us, like countless times, where like people to say, no, I'm not ready or I don't want to. And then, months later they join the program. And that's one of the things I do tell, try to tell everyone is just, just because they say no to you in the very beginning doesn't mean that they're gonna, that they're like a lost cause, like they're just not ready, exactly like how you said, they're not ready to buy it. But, as long as you're just following up. One of the things that I like to do is like I like to push them into my Instagram account, just because I'm constantly posting. I try to be as active as possible, sharing behind the scenes, sharing my personal wins, business wins, like everything. So people start getting to like know me, and then they just constantly keep seeing my stuff, and then it comes to a point whenever they're ready, they reach like they reach out to us and they're like, hey, like can we schedule a call? Just because they want more information now, and that's how we get clients.
Yeah,
So super super important.
absolutely.
All right, well, Josh, thank you so much. I'm pretty sure that, well, I'm really confident that a lot of dog trainers out there looking at this video, at this interview, are going to take a lot of value. You're a huge inspiration to a lot of dog trainers.
Well,
Even
not yet. I'm still a little guy, man.
I.
I'm still a little guy. Trying to become one, trying to get up there, but we'll get there.
We'll,
We'll get
we'll,
there.
we'll get there. That's not an issue at all. I mean, at the way you're going to right now, like even if like, October, November, we're entering like those, more like difficult months. But
Hmm.
I mean, you're still closing, you're still
Yeah,
getting.
no, we're still doing better than I was doing than my best month in the past. In all reality, so
Mhm.
it's there. So we got to keep pushing. They're there. It's just following up. Now it's follow ups. Follow up. Follow up. Follow up. Follow up. Follow up. Follow up.